Good morning. I'd like to welcome you to the BlackUSA.News morning show. My name's Donnie Glover, and we are here. Hope you're doing well. Such a gorgeous morning outside. Hope you had a good weekend. Hope all is going well with you. Hope your family's safe. Are you taking the shot? Are you scheduled to take the shot yet? Or are you going to stand strong and protest? Whatever you do, research your answer, research the topic, research the, Moderna, Pfizer, and whatever you do, wash your hands and stay away from nasty people. That remains the same, whether you get the shot or not, and keep some bleach around you. So, we've talked about a lot of politics on this show. I've been covering politics for quite some time. And it was brought to my attention that sometimes in politics, politics has to be the cruddiest game out here. Cruddier than the drug game. You know why? Because politics controls the drug game. Politics control every game that's out here. The lottery game, business, the laws. Politics is at the root of all of this. Politics. But sometimes in politics is a full contact sport. And then no draws. You win or you lose. You win or you go home for at least 4 years. And the congressional race is 2 years. So sometimes in politics, somebody gets popped. The helmet comes off. They get clocked right on the field. But it's a full contact sport. You're supposed to know this before you get into it. And when it comes to blacks in politics, it can get even more interesting. The stakes can go even higher. And feelings definitely get involved. But it's a full contact sport. It's not for the faint at heart. And so when people step out there and put their name in the ring, you best believe they done had to do some praying. I think besides running a business, running for office has to be one of the most difficult things that's out there. Running for office. Running a business, running for office. Now, I'll tell you this. If somebody's running for office and they've never run a business, ooh, that's going to be ugly. Running a business, you're forced every day to make your own decisions, and for some reason. I mean, like saving money or making money. Politics is similar because you risk it all, including your reputation, your family. You bring your family into it. It's just like being an assassin. You can't be an assassin and you got a family. Why? Because your family gonna be the first one they pluck off. So in politics, you got to be, it's got to be unified. You got to have things thought out, strategic, and you need some of the best personnel around. Makes me think of Mr. Kenny Webster. If you're from Baltimore, you know about Kenny Webster. Oh, he was Mr. Politics. And he reminds me of Julius Henson, Pat Scott. These are some old timers, or at least older than me, who have been making politics. See what you're talking about, Marty. Running a business so tough is true. You never off work as a businessman. Hey, you never off work as a politician. If you're in politics, you never stop campaigning. The campaign is never over. Got to stay on the grind. Maurice Tate's there. Makes me think of one of the first business owners in our community down on Bentlow and Lafayette. Anybody know the name of the business that was down at Bentlow? Hey, Maurice, hit that link and come on in here. Anybody know the name of the black-owned business that became well-known citywide that started at Lafayette and Baker? No. Lafayette and Bentlow. Lafayette and Bentlow. Not far from the bowling alley. Lafayette Bowling Alley. That's where my mom used to go. A lot of other people's moms used to go there. Men and women used to go bowling down there. Those were the good old days. And while we're in that neighborhood, you can't help but think about James Mosier Baseball, the oldest black little league in the country. I heard third oldest from Maurice. I ain't know nothing about the third oldest. I thought it was the oldest. Born in 1959. Joshua Zimmerman. We were supposed to have a guest unless I'm on the wrong show. But we're going to keep this thing popping nonetheless. So I was telling you that, so sometimes in politics, you know, people fall out. And I'm going to tell you one of the worst things that can happen in politics is that you lose a friend over politics. That's one of the worst things. And what's worse than that is losing a legitimate friend over a bum in politics. That's pretty bad. And it happens sometimes. I tell you what else happens in politics sometimes. Sometimes people step out there and they can't win. Sometimes people get into races that they can't win. They didn't think it out. They didn't think it all the way through. Either their money funny, their relationships funny. Barack Obama didn't just pop up and become president. He had a plan, worked it out, and preparation was a major part of that plan, particularly when you look at the constitutional law. He was the editor of the Harvard Law Review, if I'm not mistaken. And when you have that kind of preparation under your belt, you can do 8 years in DC and your legislation can stay intact. I think that's what happened with the Obamacare. It was so well crafted and constitutionally sound, they couldn't mess with it. So that's a whole nother thing when you're blacking in politics, kind of like when you're blacking in business. The stakes are even higher. I did not vote for Marilyn Mosby. Let me see. When she ran against Bernstein, pretty sure I voted for her because everybody wanted Bernstein gone. But there were a couple of times, might have been a time I did not vote for her, certainly worked against her. Worked to help Russell Neverdon one time, then Ivan Bates the second time. And she spanked both of them. But in any event, Marilyn Mosby is in there right now. What I'm getting to is she and her husband Nick are the target. They got a bullseye on their back. I refuse to be anything but supportive because we've seen this move before. I'm 55. I remember when they went after Marion Barry. The set me up. Y'all remember that scenario. Marion Barry wasn't trying to hit no pipe. Yes, I am an expert on the topic. He wasn't trying to hit that pipe. He was trying to get next to that woman. Wink, wink. She kept pushing the pipe on him. And I say that because you don't have to tell a crack addict to hit that pipe. It's like having to tell Pharaoh to run. You ain't got to do that. He gonna do that. So, but Marion Barry still is my favorite politician of all time, at least that I've met. Yeah, my favorite. I think Pharaoh kind of young. Yeah, my favorite because he was endeared by the people. Very few people know that Marion Barry actually got shot. I did send a link. You didn't get the link, Maurice? Or you want me to email it to you? Yeah, Marion Barry. I remember they loved that man. They gave him a lot of love in DC. No matter what happened, they stayed loving their mayor for life. And you think about it, DC and Atlanta, they've both kept a black mayor for 40 years. That's huge. We would have been close to there. We would have been close to there, but we had that Martin O'Malley come through here. And Martin O'Malley was, from my opinion, like a virus. And it's our own fault. I think it was Lawrence Bell that brought him inside Big Mama's house and then took him upstairs to Big Mama's bedroom. Next thing you know, Martin O'Malley was the mayor. And it was Lawrence Bell's own fault. Let him up in there. Thought that was his friend. Friend is a, man, I guess friend got a lot of people messed up. They thought it was their friend. That's not your friend. Your mother told you that's not your friend. Your mother knew things you didn't know. That's not your friend. You think that's your friend. All the time they stealing from you, lying on you, taking from you, throwing you under the bus, snitching on you. That ain't what a friend do. Tell you something else a friend don't do. A friend don't ask you to do something that they know is wrong or stupid. Good morning, June. Hey, June Perry. Thank you for your support. Again, June, we had a guest lined up, and I don't know, maybe I clicked the wrong link or something. Rico. Hey, Rico. Rico is supportive of just about every show we got here, too. Brenda Bailey. Hi, Brenda Bailey. A shout out to my girl, Melinda Bailey, Minister Melinda Bailey, one of my prayer partners. There go Joshua Zimmerman. Yep, politics determines who gets what, when, and where. There go Joshua Zimmerman. Hey, Party.
Hey, Donnie, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Good, good, good. I'd like to shout out Brenda Bailey. That's BB. That's my good friend from the great Clifton T. Perkins that appears to support anything and everything that's going on with Donnie Glover and BlackUSA.News. I want to thank BB for that. She speaks very highly of you on Facebook to me. Good morning, Donnie. Good morning, BMore.News. Good morning, BlackUSA.News. Good morning, all. My name is Maurice Tates. I'm one of Donnie Glover's podcast participants. My show's Tuesday night at 7 p.m. It's called I'm Party Marty. Let's talk. Please, y'all, join us in these podcasts because we need your support. Not so much for the show of saying that I have supporters, but for the concept that Donnie pushes to everybody, y'all, that information is power. Information is power, y'all. And I feel good when people come up with stuff that I know the answer to, because I don't know the answer to a lot of topics. But when Donnie asks about Lafayette and Bentlow, I think about the wonderful neighborhood that I grew up in. Tyrone's Fried Chicken turned into a big giant franchise. Well, Tyrone's was owned by his mother, Miss McCrae. Shout out Leadenhall Baptist Church, who was one of our great willing workers with my mother, the late great Catherine Tates, and she always...
We're Leadenhall. That's South Baltimore.
South Baltimore, baby. That's where it come from. You know, a lot of y'all don't know. That's where a bunch of y'all come from. Yeah, use from there. Oh yeah, I was getting my light right. But like as they say, use from there. I tell my mother used to always say, Donnie, if you ever got some complaint about being a country boy from North Carolina and South Carolina, look at the mirror, because somewhere along the line, if you in Baltimore, your parents are black, you in East Baltimore, West Baltimore, you comes from North Carolina, South Carolina, or Virginia.
That's right.
History, I found that out. I didn't know. You know what I mean?
From,
North Carolina for daddy and Richmond, Virginia for mommy. You know what I mean? Love those places, man. Love going back there to what we call homecoming, what's known now in the black community as family reunion, when you go back with your family and hang out.
And what day is your show on, Marty?
I'm on Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. At this particular time, my show is from 7 to 8. It has masked itself to 7 to 8:30 because of participation and because of topics, Donnie says. I've also inherited an extra half hour. They'll come find out once we get to talking. It started, my first episode is trying to fill it out, and now it's filling in. Now I need an hour, 45 minutes. If anybody's in business like Donnie's talking, I was Baltimore City Child Protective Services Transportation Supervisor. Once again, here's my whole title. Baltimore City Child Protective Service Transportation Supervisor. And when Donnie talks about businesses, here's a hint to business persons. They give you a budget. Say, for instance, my budget was $5,000. Well, I didn't know I had 6 months to spend this $5,000. I'm trying to squeeze the budget. Well, what I didn't know, I ran out of money at 4 months, 4.5 months. And I thought I did something wrong because I was new to the position. I ran out of money. But what happened was when it came up with the next fiscal year, because I'd run out of money in 4.5 months on a 6-month budget, my budget was no longer 5,000. Now it was 7,000. I showed them that I needed more money. I really did need more money. And if you're in these positions and stuff, and y'all have budgets and stuff like that, I'm saying this because maybe you're listening. The person I'm telling you, you were so proud that you didn't spend your budget. Your $5,000. I cut corners. I did that. I saved the company. Well, you spent $3,300. Donnie, guess what our budget was next fiscal year?
$3,100.
$3,000. You hit it on the head. You didn't help the company by saving money. This budget is out there. This budget is out there for you to spend. And if you don't spend it, they'll cut it and give it to somebody whom will spend it. Let me ask you, Donnie, am I an hour off? Is it 10 o'clock?
I don't know, Marty. Maybe I clicked the
Or
wrong
is it
way.
9 o'clock? Are you up early, I'm saying? Is your show on early? Because I know you're on at 10. Baby, what time is it? No. I think you're on a little earlier today. Is this another show? What I'm asking.
What time is it?
Maybe I'm wrong. Let me see. It's 9:18. Man, I'm proud of you. You didn't set your clock or something. But whatever reason that we're on here for this extra hour, Baltimore, D.C., Virginia, we got Donnie for a free hour now.
No,
he didn't do his homework.
Marty.
Yeah.
See, this is what happened when you rush it. I know. What time is it, Marty?
Your podcast starts at 10. Right now it's 9:18.
Well, damn it, we early today. I was in my mind cussing out my guests and everything.
Yeah. You were an hour early, but guess what? I'll take it.
My clock, the clock upstairs said 9, but when I got down here, damn, the clock don't say 10:20.
Yeah, you didn't set it. Hey, let me tell y'all something to make you laugh.
Over the weekend, I thought the time went 3-4 weeks ago.
Let me tell y'all. Let me tell you something to make you laugh. On my podcast show, Donnie was talking to another person on his line, so he didn't click over. He was telling me, "I got to be a minute, party. I'll be right with you." So he came in 2 minutes late, as I would say. 2 minutes late. So he happened to mention to me, "Party, I'm a professional. This is something that I don't do." Well, he told me about myself while eating on air. I was just nibbling on some candy and stuff like I didn't know it. When I look back, I'd ate half a bag of candy. So I didn't know that I was eating on air. I didn't know that was unprofessional. I knew that was unprofessional, but I didn't know how much I was eating. So the funny part about it was,
weekend, I ain't gonna never bother you about that. I can't even tell you. Go ahead.
But it's funny how
beat you this weekend. They beat you bad.
Yeah.
Had a whole bowl of cereal. Had a whole bowl of cereal.
Well, unlike them down here, I don't do that. Just like I'm saying, who knows? In your fiscal mind, you may have thought you were 2 minutes late, and you being a professional, that's something you don't do. So when you got up today and you thought you may be even a second late, bang, you hit that click. You hit that button, that go button, that enter button, that button to get you started, and you are an hour early. So if you're listening out there to everybody that's doing these shows, if you listen to everybody out there that's going to work, if you listen to anybody that's out there, the time is important. We can say whatever you want. Donnie ain't gonna come out and say it, but he was making sure that he wasn't late. He didn't go survey the whole house to make sure the clock wasn't right. He knew he was 2 minutes late one time, and he didn't ever want to be 1 minute late again. So to stop from being 2 minutes late, the brother made a mistake and made himself an hour early. If you're in the business, y'all, be the person that's an hour early. It takes you one time to know you were 2 minutes late, to make sure that instead of being 2 minutes late, I end up being an hour early. I had to go back to work, Donnie, because business was slow with Party Marty's Moon Bouncing. I'm retired, state worker. Shout out to great Clifton T. Perkins. I own Party Marty's Moon Bouncers. As Donnie would say, shameless self-promotion. 410-800-6628. Once again, 410-800-6628. Party Marty's Moon Bouncers and Water Slides. Give me a call, y'all.
And he dribbled left, too.
And dribble left. And Donnie taught me this is the topic he's talking about, how hard business is, how hard being a politician is. Y'all went back to work part-time after retiring a year ago, thinking that I was set. I have my Social Security. I'm receiving my Social Security because I'm going on 65. I'm retired. My wife's retired. I just knew that I would never work again, as we say, quote unquote, for the wonderful people again in this lifetime. I'm set. I'm good. The reason why I had to go back to work is not for my gas and electric, not for my mortgage, not for my car. I got a nice big boat down the harbor, not for that yacht, but for Party Marty's Moon Bouncers. Because I didn't prepare for the pandemic. I didn't put enough away. I thought I put enough away for this lifetime not to work again. I put enough away for this lifetime not to work again, for my house, for my cars, for the boat, for my pockets, for my wardrobe, for food. But I didn't put enough money away for my business. That warehouse over there is $1,800 a month, whether I used it or not. That insurance is $780 a month, whether I used it or not. I didn't put enough away. Learn from Party Marty.
Let's go to some solutions.
Yes.
What, moving forward, do you need to spend that $1,800 a month still?
Okay, ask the question again.
From this day forward, do you still have to pay that $1,800 a month for the warehouse?
Yes.
Is there a more viable solution?
It depends upon your personal feeling. Now, here, I started my business, and
because I got a whole basement you could damn near have.
Yeah, I get that, but here's the point. Rest in peace to my ex lady friend Sylvia, who's gone before us, who taught me a lot about businesses. She's gone with God. What Sylvia told me was, and I'm glad you brought that point up, she did not want business to be around us 24/7. My last house that I lived in, my business, my trucks were out front on Bentlow and Winchester. My equipment was in the backyard in sheds and stuff. I never left the business. And she told me when we moved out here in Randallstown, is it possible that we don't bring this business home with us every single day, 24 hours? And now I found out, Donnie, that is right. That is right. The brother, I can't think of his name, but the brother that has one of your other podcast shows, good guy. You know what I mean? One of the guys that came in that invented, one of them's from Atlanta, and the other guy invented the Black Wall Street game. What is that brother's name?
Devon Walk.
Devon Walk. Man, y'all, Donnie asked me to chime in with these brothers. Donnie know how to set me up. He knows the information is power to me. He just asked me to chime in for a minute with him and Morocco. Everybody loves these guys. And they were talking about a topic. And that brother said, and I quote, never forget to make time for anything and everything else except for your business. That's what he said, Donnie. You have to make time for your wife. You have to make time for the kids. You have to make time for yourself. You know, I didn't when I lived
at the same time, if them kids like riding bikes and that lady like going shopping, help the business. And if you can't help the business, don't stop the business. Don't get in the way of the business.
That's right. That's right. That's a good way of putting it.
I'm gonna give you something else to say. If you marry someone, you marry their business as well.
Yeah, that's true. But Donnie, depends upon who you marry. Now, CC, you know that's my ride or die. You feel when you see the podcast, Donnie, you know that's my anchor. When you call there and you ask them to speak to my secretary, you don't know what you're speaking to my wife. You know, she's there ride or die. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm fortunate about. But I can say this, and I'll tell my business if it helps me. Sylvia and I, when she passed, had broke up. We always get together and break up. We always make up and break up and all that kind of stuff. And you always think that you have time to get back together to y'all that's going through this and don't understand it. But I'm thank God that I have Cece. But we broke up one time and we didn't get back together. She died. Let me tell y'all something on this touchy subject right here. She had left me when we broke up. I'm a newlywed. I've been married 3 years. Do you know Lenny Harmon taught me something? I will never, ever do anything to make this woman leave me. I will never get walked away from again because it's my fault. My wife came at a perfect time for me. I'm putting in the work. My ex told me, clean up behind your nasty self. I never heard it because she picked up behind me all the time. Because I knew that was a problem that I had, now that I know I want to keep this one, Donnie, the one that you always tell me is a good one, CC, Donnie, I even learned to pick up behind my nasty ass self. Because nobody's going to leave me because I'm dirty. I will never get left because I don't have enough money to pay bills. Because I know with my other friends' relationship, he may have lost her because he wasn't doing right with his money. I'll never be the one that doesn't have enough money to pay these bills. I know why my wife is impressed with me. One of the things I own up to my shortcoming is because I got a couple dollars. You know what I mean? I'm going to make sure that I have that in her life for a couple dollars. She can hear me now, honey. Let me ask you a question. You're 45 and you married a 64-year-old man. And what were the two things I asked you before you married this old man who's not going to be Denzel Washington in the bed 10 years from now or the Mandingo? What did you want? Why would you say yes to me when I asked you to marry you and I'm at this age? What were you looking for?
See the world. I'm putting it in the chat.
She's gonna put it up there now. My wife told me that she wants to be happy. It's two things that's important to me. I want to be happy.
Hey, Donnie.
She said that I want to be happy. She came from a relationship with hooping and howling and fussing, and she says she doesn't ever want to do it again. But all my wife knew was B&B, Baltimore and Bentlow Street. She wants to see the world. Now, my vacationing isn't Donnie's vacation. Every time I start talking about we in May we go to King's Dominion. No, in April, the end of this, we go to Virginia, right?
Yeah.
Just to stay 3 days in King's Dominion so she can get on some rides. She likes to flip herself up and Donnie and shoot around 2 more times and to do the loop, and then your head fall off and break the sound barrier. And I sit right there and I hold a pocketbook till she get off the ride because I ain't getting on none of that. In Donnie words, shit. I seen shit. They got on that thing to go straight up in the air. What was that? The tower screaming till I go way up in the air, Donnie, and it just dropped down. And they came down. That was so cool. Yeah, that was cool. I came over to get my wife off the ride, Donnie. And as I was walking over, here come a flip flop. Something came to him. What? Hit the ground. I said, what was that? That was a flip flop. Somebody flip flop came off. That thing had been up in the air for 3 minutes and finally hit the ground. Could have killed me, but it was just a flip flop. You paid somebody to get on this. You paid somebody to get on something that took 5 minutes for what was ever up there to come down. Are you crazy? And my wife likes to see the world. So Donnie's idea of vacationing is Mother Africa. Donnie said, "I've seen her."
I didn't necessarily say that.
Yes, you did, because I told you I didn't know any better. If we are, let me round this off real quick and come home because I'm a talker. I'm what Donnie says is loquacious. You know what I mean? I thought I'm a well talker, but he said talkative. But let me round that off. As a being, I'm not saying quote unquote, we'll call it the black or whatever you call. I vacation all the time, but it's always an island. Jamaica, Montego Bay, Punta Cana, Aruba. I think the vacation, as long as it's all inclusive, that's what I want to do. Well, I didn't know. My wife's idea of vacation, I've been to Paris, we've been to France, we've been all these kind of things, and I didn't know. I went to Paris because we got married in Jamaica. I went to Paris because that was her dream trip. She wanted to see the Eiffel Tower. Well, we got there and I saw, I saw the Mona Lisa. I saw the Mona Lisa, which meant nothing to me. If anybody hasn't seen the Mona Lisa, it's a little teeny picture. Is bad drawn. It's out of the lines. It's nothing. If it was in right now at a yard sale, you wouldn't give somebody $10 for it.
If you saw her walking down the street, you would not try to date her.
I would not try to date her. So
she was not cute.
It's not cute at all. That's the way to put it. The Mona Lisa, to me, this is my opinion, is the most famous piece of art, most well-known famous piece of artwork in the world.
No, it's not.
I know to Donnie because he knows artwork. I don't know if y'all looking behind me. What am I sitting in front of, baby? Ernie Banks. Ernie Bonds. What is it called?
Sugar Shack.
Sugar Shack. Now, Donnie, if anybody's looking back there at it, y'all know we called it the Good Times picture.
I bet you can't tell me the lyrics to Good Times.
Keeping your head above water, making a wave where you can. Temporary laid off, good times. Easy credit, rip off, good time. Scratching and surviving, good times. Hanging and a jiving, good times. Ain't we happy we got them?
Ain't we lucky we got 'em?
Lucky we got good times. Yeah. But anyway, this picture behind me.
That man a round of applause.
Yeah.
I was waiting on you to slip.
Hey.
On you to slip. All right. Since you're in a singing mode, can you tell me what y'all would say on the bench at James Mosher when your team is up to bat?
Tell me what we would say. Let me think about it. Good morning,
Pepsi Cola, Coca-Cola.
Yeah, Donnie, you younger. Y'all said something different.
Pepsi Cola, Coca-Cola, Royal Crown, hypnotize them, boomerize them, knock them off the mound. You remember that?
Remember, I was your coach. I wasn't on your team. I remember that. Give it to me again, Donnie.
Pepsi Cola, Coca-Cola, Royal Crown, hypnotize them, boomerize them, knock them off the mound. Hey, Marty, what came to me was the feeling when you first made contact with the ball.
Wow.
That first time you hit the ball, that little tingle in your hand, because you're batting that ball, you finally making contact. You ain't got to square up and bunt no more. Right. You ain't got the third base coach over there saying, bunt, give me the symbol.
Yeah. And that was our symbol, too. That meant bunt. Everybody knew it.
The whole damn field knew it, but you a little kid, and all you want to do is square up. But then you get your chance. You done rode the bench. You rode the bench so much, you take dirt and rub dirt on your uniform. So when you go back home, the people up there who don't know no better, like, oh, he must have been in the game. Ain't been in no game. I rode the bench for 3 years effectively. Yeah. But that fourth year, baby, oh baby. But that feeling, Marty, when you make contact, I used to watch cats like Kenny Davis.
Yeah, a beast.
Lefty, southpaw. Man, he had the smoothest golf stroke because he ain't swing level. Kenny Davis swung like a golfer, and that joint was going over the fence. I never really went over the fence. I might have hit the fence once. Might have got it in the park. But we played with some home run kings. Howard Fields, Kevin Davis, Brian Easley, Craig. Remember Craig?
Oh, yeah, left-handed Craig. Yeah, yeah. You know, which if y'all don't know exactly what we're talking about the great James Mosier Little League Association. It's a Little League organization. It's the oldest surviving Little League organization in the state.
In the country.
It's third in the country, right?
No. I ain't telling nothing older than it. Born in 1959, to my understanding, it's the oldest Black Little League continually operated in the nation. And if there is one, then let us know, because we'd be honored to talk about it right here on Black USA. But James Mosier baseball, let me tell you something else. We talked about business. We talked about politics. Now, this is a topic right in there along that same vein. Black organizations.
Wow.
Somebody in your family is a Mason or a daughter of the Eastern Star.
Yeah.
Or a fraternity or sorority. Or they might go to the NAACP or the Urban League. But in 2021, not only is it a challenge to run a business, to run for office, it can also be a challenge to run a nonprofit, a Black organization, because they tend to run on donations.
Yes.
And grants.
Yeah.
And if you're not fiscally sound, you will be out of business. But big ups on that note to James Mosier Baseball and our other institutions. And what I'm really getting to, Marty, is you ever think about, my book is coming out, I Am Black Wall Street.
Okay.
Our ancestors came out of slavery, saved nickels, pennies, quarters, dimes, built Black colleges. Marty, with all of our six-figure incomes, with all of our luxury whips out front, with all of our degrees, Black people today are closing Black colleges. We don't have as many as we started off with. How is it that we got more materially and dumber mentally?
Wow. Let me leave off the subject topic real quick, then I go right back to that. I would like to first shout out the awesome job that Mr. White, our treasurer, does for James Mosier. Let's point out that job. First of all, y'all, you can't just pick a treasurer that's your buddy or your homie because y'all went to school together. This person is in charge of the money. If you want an organization to last from 1959, first you better have somebody that's going to do the right thing with the money. Correct, Donnie? You got to find you a real treasurer. I mean, you need a good president. You need a good vice president. But you need a good treasurer. You need somebody that's going to make good decisions with that organization's money.
Because I know then your organization is not healthy.
And people will not donate to you if your funds have been misappropriated. I know an organization that this happened to, and I said, man, why don't y'all lock him up or do that? He stole that money. And you know what they told me? This was a big organization. They said, we cannot go off and say that somebody stole this money. Then we allow one.
Because then you all look bad. But that one bad apple, he got to go. She got to go.
Well, they got rid of him, but they couldn't publicly charge him or tell everybody about it because people will no longer give that organization money.
I tell you what you could do. You could sue them.
But I don't know, Donnie, if they stealing, they probably ain't no money anyhow. That's how you sue people. You're going to sue them for money they can't pay.
So some things, I mean, when you're messing with the accountant, the accountant is as close to you as your spouse.
Yeah.
So thank God for Mr. White. Thank God he never fumbled that ball.
Never. And I mean, and you and I, if anybody wants to hear about a great man, I'm talking a great man. Yeah, a great man. And makes you think about it. That's Mr. Alan Meacham. And we can't write a book about Mr. Alan Meacham without putting the words, the term, and they're a great man. This
I
man
was
is
thinking about him last night.
yeah, we've already scheduled, not this week, is coming up, not tomorrow, but next. If you want to meet a great man, not tomorrow, but next Tuesday show, Mr. Alan Meacham is our guest. It's Donnie
Really?
Glover's guest to me. Yes, so I've already put it together. Michael Singletary, hats off to Michael Singletary, is doing the legwork for us to get this thing gone. He's doing that.
I hope we didn't overwork Michael too much because I know he's so busy sitting behind his desk.
Yeah, Michael's the major of all the racetracks in the state of Maryland, and he frequents. He's a friend of ours from James Mosher. He frequents the show every episode. He was telling us, how Mr. Meacham, how back in the day, Donnie, people don't realize this. You realize because you were there. You got your what was the name? Who was that gentleman on Lafayette across from Holy Trinity? We used to get our uniforms from out the back, his back trunk.
TV Tank.
Yeah. Man, these
You
people
remember
over
TV
here.
Tank? They was
Yeah.
talking about him on another show. You weren't talking about him. Maybe there's some comments. TV Tank. And didn't TV Tank have, I didn't notice, but he had a Cadillac apparently. But
Yeah,
I knew
Cadillac. Yeah, but with the boom, he had a TV. That's what his name was from.
I knew he had a van.
Okay, yeah, but he also had a Cadillac with the boomerang antenna on the trunk for his television. That's why he got the name TV Tank. He had a TV in his car. We as the kids used to walk by to look in there. It was a TV in there. He had a boomerang antenna on the back of his Cadillac that was for reception for his TV. Choo Choo's father. But Mr. Meacham, man, never surrender, never give up. We came back in the times when how you got people to play. You knocked on their door. You went up to them. They literally came and knocked on your door and asked, "Is any boys?" Now Donnie knows. My niece, Raquel, was on my team. The Cubs batted third. So James Mosher got boys and girls playing baseball. My niece batted third on a team, and not because for a publicity stunt. A publicity stunt. She was the third best hitter on my team. You know what I mean?
Paul told me about a young lady that was playing for him, and she's on her way to college, playing softball in college.
Literally?
Yeah, literally. And let's talk about that, Marty. For the past 20 years, we've seen women on James Mosher's baseball field like never before.
Exactly.
They ought to let some women, and I'm gonna say it right here, and I don't care who don't like it. It might be time for a woman president of James Mosher.
Oh yeah, and we have some that have the specs to do it. We have some that have the specs to do it. If you're listening,
might
Michael
be
Singletary.
A little overdue.
Yeah. If you're listening, Michael Singletary, who frequents the show, who's big to do in there.
Things are changing.
Yeah.
And
then
we have to adapt to the change. Like they got that baseball field up there, right? The brand new field.
$1 million.
We need people playing on that field all year long.
Yeah. That's the top. We want black eye.
We play baseball all year long. I don't know about this only 2 months out the year. That's like these damn bike lanes. Why you need a bike lane, man? I tell you something, boy. I gotta keep my anger in check. Woostar. Why is traffic backed up 4 blocks for one damn bike lane and ain't no bikes in it?
That's so true.
Mm-hmm.
That's so true.
You know what's time? I'm trying to get from here down to Center Street, and they got these little damn white pegs on the corner. You can't even make a sharp turn because of these little piggly wiggly pegs in the damn street. For what? The fire truck can't get down the damn street. Don't catch on fire because your ass gonna get burned up.
You're done.
I'm so sick of these bike lanes, and I'm sick of these speed cameras. They slow traffic up real slow. And then as soon as you finally get across 29th Street Bridge and you picking up some momentum, you get right there to the bottom of the bridge, which says Sisson Street.
Yeah.
And they got a little speed camera because they know you ain't going 25 miles an hour. Not after they done held you up for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
You know what? I want to say this last thing. I bet you these bike lanes were created by people who don't have no damn children.
Yeah, hey, you gonna get some calls on that.
443-858-2684.
My wife
Right there at Northern Park, Marty, the traffic is backed up at noon. At Northern Park, people trying to get down to North and Mount Royal.
Mm-hmm.
They got an arrow in the right lane. Why are you making traffic backed up? Why not move the arrow out the right lane and let cars use them? See, you all the way out there in the county, y'all ain't got that problem.
No,
but out there when you want to see your damn boat, you don't want to be waiting all day long. Oh,
Marty. Yeah, hey, everybody, to the people, the novice listening and stuff like that. Sometimes when you get Donnie started, that's what he does. You know what I mean? When you start seeing him talking,
I've been cussing.
That's 9 o'clock. If you just tuned into the show and don't know it, this is Donnie Glover's 10 o'clock show. It came on at 9, and guess what? Still got to do the 10. So when you talk about whining and grinding, Donnie Glover is the producer of BlackUSA.News, the producer of BMore.com, the inventor of Donnie Moore. He is an author of books, and he has a new book coming out. And guess what? Today, he's going to be doing 2 hours of this in a row. Not because you can't go off and say,
easy, Marty. You made it easy.
Yeah, well, thanks. You can't go off, y'all. If you out there, you can't go off and say, I made a mistake. I came in an hour early. All right, well, you know what? All that we can say to him is, thanks for the extra hour, Donnie. But at 10 o'clock, get your black tail back out here and let's do it again. We're talking about owning a business. I'm Ned. If you heard some noise in the background, that's my drivers and my people coming. And Donnie, let's piggyback on the topic you said. You said about saving money because I have a warehouse where I store my moon bouncers, water slides, and equipment and stuff like that. And I used to have
that's 24 grand a year. I think for 24 grand, we can get you ample space.
Yeah, well, that's true. And then I challenge the public and Donnie to find me a place that I could do better. But Donnie,
how much space do you need? How much square feet do you need?
I don't know. We'll get into that. You'll teach me that. I want as much as I could get for the best price, but but my thing is, Donnie, is safety. Safety. I've had them broken into. They come in, man. I was in West Baltimore. They broke in there and took everything. Took 4 generators. You know what I mean? Let me tell you something that's funny though. And this is if this is something that's stepping on your toes, I hope it is laughing. You know, people will walk by a moon bounce that you left on the ground and steal your trash can. Listen to what I'm saying, y'all. You know, people don't know what's valuable to one thing isn't valuable. People don't steal moon bouncers laying on the ground that cost $2,000-$3,000. But they'll come up on your porch now and down and steal your flowers and your flower pot. They walk by that.
That's why my mother didn't. She wasn't that far into Sandtown when we lived up on Moreland Avenue, because cats from Sandtown used to come up on her porch and the other ladies' porches and steal their flowers.
Yeah, I remember.
Sandtown. She didn't like Sandtown people coming up on Moreland Avenue stealing her flowers.
Yeah, step on your toes. But
that was like stealing her children. She got highly upset about that type thing.
You know, on that note, that's true. I'm older. I'm
you ever caught somebody creeping in your backyard?
No. I was fortunate enough to have 5 big brothers. So I could leave a gold brick in my backyard.
What do you think happened to the cat that get caught creeping in somebody's property trying to steal?
What's a good word for it? Whip that ass? That's a good term. I remember. My brother Purdy used to all hands up, hands up. I like that with Don when he does that. Whip that ass. My brother told me something. I mean, I never forget this. Shout out to the great Larry Walls from Druid Hill Park and my Druid Hill Park family. You know, here's something that people don't know. I was worried one time because we was beefing with some guys from White Lock and stuff like that. I worked at Druid Hill Park, at the park pool, y'all called it. And they came over there. We told them stop running. We got to fighting them and stuff like that. We give them a good beating too.
Yeah, let's just clarify. White Lock can be a problem if you work out Druid Hill Park.
Yeah.
Because it is the neighborhood closest, the
Druid Hill Park.
Black neighborhood where people can fight. That's the neighborhood closest to Druid Hill Park, and that includes Park Pool and the basketball court.
Well, let me tell you on that.
Now you can escape if you know how to go out Liberty out there by the conservatory or back back out towards Hamden. But if you come across that park, oh baby.
Mm-hmm. But you didn't know to make the same mistake. You would think you escaped out there to the Hampton and you get around them wonderful people and they ain't playing with you neither. You just now went from the frying pan into the fire. Now you got to fight your way back around from them white folks, them wonderful people. But let me tell you something.
Oh, you mean getting caught in Hamden?
Yeah, exactly.
Them
Believe you me.
Them white boys can fight in Hamden.
Oh yeah. You when you see them down there at Mall Park and Pigtown and Pratt Street with no shoes on, it ain't because it's hot outside. They ain't got no shoes.
They can fight too. Much respect.
They can fight too. You want to play? We found out about sports down there in Carroll Park. Go there and thinking you the only people that can play baseball because you black, or you the only good football team, and run to something called the Police Boys Club like we
I was
did.
coming out of Montgomery Wards. I just went down there. They had some kind of 2 for sale.
Mm-hmm.
I catch the 51 bus down to Montgomery Wards. My daddy called it Monkey Wards.
That was the name.
I got my 2 pair of Wranglers for $15. I go to get on the bus. And I heard something go like this, Marty. Every black person on the planet know what this means. You want to know what I heard?
What?
First thing I heard was, there he is. Marty, it wasn't like, oh, there he is. Oh, there he is. No.
How'd it go, Donnie?
There he is. Get his ass. Time to shake a little fanny.
Hey,
I ran up Monroe Street so hard. So unstoppable. Nobody. Superman. Kevin Davis. Nobody. Lawrence Taylor. Nobody was stopping me from coming up that street.
Hey, if you're young or you young people, as in my Master P voice.
White boys, man.
In my Master P voice, daddy go, pass me that thing. Let's get him. Daddy go, pass me that thing. Let's get him. Yeah, that you know that very well. But real talk, you know.
Marty, we talk about black men quoting rap lyrics over 50. When you over 50 quoting rap lyrics, I'm guilty. I'm guilty too, Marty.
Yeah.
I'm guilty. Hey, listen, Marty, while we got you, we're going to do this thing. Hey, Diamond K.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Diamond K, what time is it, man? Because Marty told me it's not even 10 o'clock.
Yeah, no, it's 9:54.
Hey, Diamond, I'm glad you in there. Donnie started the show at 9 o'clock. You missed it. He thought it was 10. We've been on an hour already. Now, guess what? Hey, y'all, as they say, as I say in my line, let Donnie segue in to his real 10 o'clock show, /9. Now, what we need for the novice listener like me to get a petition going on to write in that Donnie's 10 o'clock show should now be 2 hours. It shouldn't be from 10 to 11. Put in from 9 to 11. Let this brother know that somebody will be here at 9 o'clock that has a burning desire to talk to. Hey, Diamond, you see me put him out there?
Yeah,
You
you
gonna
did.
delete me and anybody
was
that's
real good. What's your favorite new word? Segue?
segue.
Okay, so let me help you with your segue. You see that right there? Long as they
Here
hit
we go.
that, we do all,
See, now ain't begging.
we do
Now
all,
ain't begging. Hey,
damn right. We do
that
all the
gives
9
me.
o'clock shows you want.
Hey, let me before I get out of here, because I own Party Marty's Moon Bouncers and I got a business to run. Let me hit you with something else too, a topic that I would like for y'all to talk about. The new black begging. It's called Cash App. The
Oh
new
yeah.
black begging is called Cash App. My grandkids, they used to have to be nice to me. Diamond would have to come around, kick it with me with Pop and all that to get some money. Like, for instance, I would have saw them, right, Cece, Wednesday or Thursday this week for extra money for Easter clothes. They said, Pop, I ain't seen.
Hey, Marty, don't mess up my hustle, okay? Don't mess up. I ain't needy, Jakes. Go ahead and give me mine. Let me just get mine.
Hey, y'all, this new Cash App, they smooth with it. Diamond, they send you a friend request just as nice as can be. I had no idea how this thing would catch on. Do you see? Cece, no, I had no idea how this thing would catch on, this Cash App thing.
Yeah.
But man, they can get money from you in Alaska now.
Oh yeah.
Send me Cash App. Hey, Diamond, what's your thing in the back? What does that say? What does your banner say behind you?
Radio on Fire, Baltimore Music Awards, and High Roller Records.
Good, man. Evidently, that's what you do. Let me introduce myself first. My name is Maurice Tates. Everybody calls me Party Marty. I own a kids' party rental company, Party Marty's Moon Bounce. While I get here, before I get out, let me promote myself.
Absolutely.
Party Marty's Moon Bounces and Water Slides. The time is out here now for everybody to get out and let these kids do their thing. My number is 410-800-6628. Once again, 410-800-6628. If you're in need of anything that has to do with party rentals, moon bouncers, water slides, cotton candy, popcorn, anything that has to do with kids' party rental, come get my party started with Party Marty's Moon Bouncers. Please give my company a call. To anybody that doesn't know, Mr. Diamond himself, all the businesses in the world, right now, I can speak for Baltimore, but the whole world, we're in need of your support. Once again, hear me say it with a smile on my face, and I mean it. If you own a business now, we're in need of your support. We're in need of your support. I'm not going to knock Walmart because I shop there too. I'm not going to knock Home Depot or none of that kind of stuff. But the Mod Pod operation, the Party Marty's Moon Bouncers, Diamond's Black Music Awards. I mean, to my buddy with the corner stores to sell cotton candy and ice cream on a cart. We're in need of your support now. The weather's changing. We're getting back out there. Be as vigilant as you can about this pandemic. Please don't let it explode again by running around thinking that it's over with, because it's not. Wear your mask. Governor Hogan. Yes.
Marty.
Let me leave, Donnie. Let me leave.
No. You can't go.
Okay.
I want to tell you, at the corner of Lafayette and Bentlow, in that store that eventually became very famous, I looked through them doors one day and I saw the biggest rat I ever seen in my life. Right down there in your neighborhood.
Yeah. Tyrone's Chicken.
I ain't say that. You said it.
Oh yeah, I said it's from my neighborhood. Yeah. But once again, we
we walk past it every day for the game.
Yeah, we're pioneers. That little small block of Bentlow Street, Lafayette Bowling Alley. If you came in the neighborhood, you bowled at Lafayette Bowling Alley. That's our neighborhood. If you ate chicken, you got your first. Do you know Diamond? Where you from, Diamond?
I grew up Baltimore Hilton.
Then you know.
I
remember.
know.
Does anybody remember riding around with hot sauce in your glove compartment for Tyrone's Chicken?
Mm-hmm.
We had hot sauce in our glove compartment because everybody went to Tyrone's Chicken. It was $3. You got
I did go over to
5
North
$20.
Avenue a couple of times. Matter of fact, he had one over by school headquarters, and then but the first one was up here Penn North.
What was that?
Tyrone.
Oh yeah.
Marty,
everybody,
Marty, let me say something. I've concluded something in this conversation.
Go ahead.
No, not that. You need to start a Cash App.
Oh, I got
one.
my own Cash App.
I'm making sure.
I got a Cash App because I got a business. Most people pay me with Cash App.
Yes,
but I'm saying now, these young people, Diamond, my grandkids know how to beg on it. I get what's called what is it called? A request?
Yeah.
They hit you with some bang.
Yeah.
A request. It starts off, they smart enough. Pop, can you send me $10? I know I can't send nobody $10. What are they gonna do with $10? After they buy whatever they get, and they broke, so you gotta send them 20. They didn't know to start with 20 because I poked my mouth out. So they asked for $8. So you're gonna send them 20. You feel me? But now they smooth with it. A reason why I hit y'all with this, Diamond and Donnie, I woke up this morning with $52 in Cash App requests from 3 people. Because if y'all know, after Easter Sunday with your Easter clothes, what you do then? Easter Monday, you going to the movies or something. You taking somebody. Y'all remember that?
Hey, Marty, can you send 50 cents on Cash App?
Can you? No. $1's the minimum.
I think $1.
$1's a minimum. Yeah, $1. I don't think. But they will find a way to beg for that.
I was coming out of a place and a guy, they were panhandling. They said, "Excuse me, you got a couple dollars." When did the inflation happen?
Yeah.
Right.
What was the comedian name with Bebe's kids? Spare change. Do I got some spare change? Robin Williams, spare change. Get you a spare job. Extra cigarette. Hey, listen, y'all. I gotta go. I gotta run my company. Listen, though, I always leave with this, Diamond. Please, man, you seem like a brother that I gotta make sure to get in there with.
Absolutely.
You got a lot of things. And Donnie, for the extra hour. Y'all, I'm gonna tell you something about this little show and this brother, and I know he's real humble. But y'all, this brother right here is for information. This brother Donnie Glover is for information. If you want to find out something about what's going on in the world today, just chime in for a minute. Ain't nobody got to tell you every time you get a chance to listen to his show, every time you free chime in and stuff like that. But if you want some information, I don't care what it is. BlackUSA.News, BeMore.com, Donnie Glover Podcast, I'm Party Marty, Let's Talk, Sister Biz, Lawyers, here we are. If you want some information, click on any of these links. We put work and effort and time into you learning about what to do to better yourself, your community, your workspace. Just give us a chance. Hey, as I leave with the same line all the time. I want everybody to know this podcast, and at least my show, the rest of them, is not geared against white folks. So don't ever think that we up there because we talking Black USA or something that we hate white people. That is not true. We're giving some information that we need in our community. We're just giving you information for us. Now, after this, I'll quote this white guy that started this thing. One of my favorite rappers is Eminem. I don't care if he's white, black, or green. I love this song, and I feel it, and I conclude my song with it all the time. You got to lose yourself with the music, the moment. You got to own it. You got to never let it go. I only got one shot. I did not miss my chance or blow. My opportunities came once in a lifetime, yo. If you looking out for something, y'all, whatever it is, man, reach out there and grab it. I like talking. As Donnie calls me, cracking on me on the slide because I talk too much. I'm loquacious. I read that, Donnie. I know you cracked on me. But guess what? I own that term and that line, and that is me, and I wear it. Party Marty's Moon Bouncers, 410-800-6628. Hey, y'all, get out here and get some knowledge. Diamond, next time, Jack, I need some conversation from you. Hey, y'all, James, I learned something else. Check this out. Gina Lee, this is for you. Gina Lee, one of the topics she talked about was Druid Hill Park swimming pool. Did y'all realize that in 1957, I was born in 1956. In 1957, that Druid Hill had a black only swimming pool and white only swimming pool. Do you know we keep thinking that prejudice came back 400 years ago? I was 1 year from being born, so I call that my lifetime. In my lifetime, black people, we had black and white swimming pools. Hey, y'all, we as a nation, we as a community, we as black people, we need to get together to make sure that we can do whatever we can to get some information on ourselves. Have a wonderful day in the Lord. And as always, y'all, from Party Marty, to God be the glory. Take care.
Definitely.
All right, Party.
Peace.
Diamond K, welcome to the show, partner.
Thank you very much.
Well, that was
Glad
a cup
to
of
be
coffee
here.
for you. If you weren't woke, you woke now.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely was woke. Yeah,
no.
That's good.
I wasn't woke. Marty woke me
You
right on up. How you feel, Diamond K?
So how did you get how did the hour thing happen? How did your clock get up?
I didn't sleep all the way through last night. And Monday morning, the first thing is don't miss your first show of the week. And some kind of way I got on here an hour early. I think my German Shepherd changed my clock on my computer.
Oh goodness.
Because Lord is saying 11 o'clock. I'm looking at it. But in any event, we still here. Diamond K, welcome to the show, man.
Glad to
tell
be
them
here.
about Radio on Fire.
Radio on Fire is a podcast network where I produce a bunch of shows, including my own, which is Diamond K in the Morning, where I am on at 8 a.m. And additionally, it is a news and opinion site. So definitely talk about Baltimore news, Atlanta news, and news across the country. As well as entertainment. So
what's your favorite topic?
My favorite topic? Politics is my favorite topic.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, Catalina Bird explained to me last night that you've been involved in politics.
I mean, as far as studying politics,
you never ran for office.
I ran for city council a few years back in the 8th district, but where Christopher Burnett is. And so definitely I've definitely been around the block.
What did you learn in running for office?
The main thing that I learned is I don't know if I want people in my business that much.
24/7.
Yeah, I don't know if I want people in my business that much. And
I think you can handle it, Diamond.
Yeah. But it's a great thing. You have to be committed to it. You have to be fully committed to it. And I have my hands in a lot of things, and maybe later in my life that'll be the move. But right now, I'd rather be on the media side than on the stage, so to speak, with regards to being a public servant.
They call this media thing the fourth estate.
Yeah.
The fourth estate. You got the administrative, you got the judicial, you got the administrative, but the fourth estate is the media.
Mm-hmm.
You can't have democracy without a free press.
Absolutely.
And even though some of these platforms try to censor us
and limit our access.
Yeah, even though they try, we can't allow that.
No.
We got to be as vigilant as them cats that was climbing the Capitol wall.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What'd you think of that January 6th, Diamond?
It was very disturbing. The lackadaisical way that it has been reacted to by the authorities, to me, and I say lackadaisical because they took their time locking those folks up. If you look in Atlanta, how the representative knocked on the door of the governor, and she was locked up on the spot,
right there,
right then and there, and she just knocked on the door, and she's an elected official. You know what I mean? And so when you look at how they handled these white folks that hopped the wall, breached the security, killed an officer, completely desecrated, and in some instances defecated in the Capitol, it really it really puts that light on how far we have to come in this country, and just how prevalent white supremacy is in this nation.
Well, I tend to use the term institutional racism because, like your mama taught me, my mama taught me, ain't nobody better than me. You ain't better than nobody, but ain't nobody better than you. And if you are if you are supreme, if for some quirk of nature you are superior over me, but I see you defecating in the Capitol, then we're going to redefine superiority.
Facts. Yes. Yes.
Because that's more like a troglodyte, a caveman, a Neanderthal, a Cro-Magnon.
And that's how some of them look. The one with the horns on his head and different ones, they look like cavemen. What was really disturbing to me is that the way that they acted in the Capitol, that's how a lot of the revolutionary fighters during the formation of this nation, that's how they behaved. You know what I mean? And so when you look at somebody like Trump or some of these Republicans, when they talk about getting back to when America was quote unquote great,
what does that mean?
The fear, it's that gang mentality that you know how and that's not the first time something like that has happened. That's the first time something like that has happened on a national level. But you had different cities and states where, you know, the mob rule, those white people would run in somewhere. If there's a black politician that won an election, they didn't like the way it went, they would run in there and do that kind of stuff. This is not new. This is just new to the national level. But we have points in history where this has happened. And if we don't get control of this, this is really, really going to be a mess.
No, Diamond, I'm not buying that.
You're not buying it's a mess?
Somebody wants it like this.
No, that's true. That's true.
And you say what we can do. You from Baltimore and Hilton.
Yeah.
If somebody came on the corner of Baltimore and Hilton when you grew up and said, all black people got to leave from 1 mile of this area of Baltimore and Hilton, what's going to happen to that person on the corner of Baltimore and Hilton?
He would have had some problems.
Exactamundo. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
The only thing a bully understands. I'm all past this. I know yesterday was Easter and the resurrection and the rebirth. You know what also gets me, Diamond? I know I'm rambling. How can such a racist nation even mention God? What God do they think they serve?
Well, I mean, but if you understand, so-called slave owners, they were preaching and teaching God.
No, they couldn't. They couldn't.
I mean, they were. You know, they were. And in the mind of some of these people, they think that this is the way it's supposed to go, and they think that there's a hierarchy amongst humans. And some of them think that, you know what I mean? It's just
for somebody to think they are superior tells me one thing, Diamond. Their mother ain't whipped their ass.
Well, I mean, that stuff is taught. They were taught that by somebody. Now, it may have not been their parent, their mother. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. But this mentality is taught. Unfortunately. But just as something is taught, you can be unlearned. And like you said, the bully can get punched in the face, and then the lesson is learned. So,
you know, it makes me also think, Diamond, to all of the various wars in this country. Black people have fought in every war. Before this country was established, we were fighting the Revolutionary War up there in Rhode Island. They had the 1st Rhode Island Regiment, then the Civil War, then World War I, so on. After every war, the soldier came back home and his backbone was straighter.
Yeah.
His grip was firmer. His stare was stronger. And each time he came home, on one hand, it was a step forward, but on the other hand, it made some white people uncomfortable.
Definitely did. It definitely did. And it's and when you mention that, our ancestors fought in those wars proudly and honorably because they believed in the facade of the nation. They believed it. So we go to the, our ancestors go to the war. They fight. So not only are they fighting the perceived enemy, but they're also fighting amongst the ranks of the white officers and the other soldiers
who didn't want to treat them with respect. And I've studied about soldiers, black soldiers that came home and more recently in World War I, World War II, coming back home and being treated worse than the prisoners that they were fighting. And they're part of the army, the so-called American army. Imagine that.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
You mentioned World War I. My book's coming out in a couple of weeks, I Am Black Wall Street. But 1914 and 1918 was World War I. The black soldiers were getting a lot of love over there in France. French girls was loving us. And the white Americans would tell the French, don't give them that much love because when they get back home, they're going to expect it too. Anyway, 1918, the soldiers came back home and some of them were lynched in uniform.
Yeah.
After fighting for this country.
Yes.
Fighting for the French. They come back home and they got lynched in uniform. That was 1919, Diamond. That was Red Summer. 2 years later is when Black Wall Street got burned to the ground. Yes. See, we see a cyclical pattern with these people.
Yes.
Every time we make a step forward, here comes this clown. And I just got one question for you, Diamond. How can you get mad at me because I don't want to be your slave?
Expand on that.
The Trumpsters are mad about losing the Civil War.
Yeah.
They're still mad.
They are. They are.
But how are you mad? Because you can't have the right to traffic people. What type of troglodyte caveman mentality is this? We live around savages.
Well, that's what baffles me about black Trump supporters.
Oh my God.
That's what baffles me when I see these black Republicans.
This ain't the time to be promoting the Republicans.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. And when I see it, and I see them online and I go back and forth with them, I'm just trying to figure out, do you understand history at all?
Well, now we get ready to get real fun. Diamond, the city you grew up in is 9-1 Democrat.
Yeah.
And we get treated by these white Democrats and these black Democrats in Baltimore. They don't seem much different than the Trumpsters. Because if you're going to tell me Baltimore and Hilton, if you're going to tell me that Patterson Park and Monument looks better than it did 50 years ago, I will kiss your hind parts at Baltimore and Charles, and that's the center of town. So what's worse than a Trumpster is a white liberal Democrat who pretends to be our friend.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what we have is that there are a lot of people with letters behind their names that are just doing that for wherever they live. So a Republican is not going to get elected here right now in Baltimore. And so they have to mask themselves as whatever to get through. And that's one thing. So there's so many levels to this. I mean, you look at a Democrat and Republican, and then you have to look deeper into the individual and what and who they really represent. And that's by their actions.
Skin color.
Right. It's about actions to me.
When Kathleen Kennedy Townsend ran for governor, she picked Charles R. Larson, an admiral who was a Republican. He changed parties overnight. See, white people can do that.
Yeah.
But you can't do that. You can't do that, Diamond. You come around here talking about Republican, oh, they're going to say all kinds of things about you, as if the Democrats have served black people in Baltimore at all.
Yeah, I mean, the level of corruption in Baltimore goes way beyond party lines. And that is a fact. That is a fact. So, and when you talk about, the condition of our neighborhoods now versus when we were growing up, it's really heartbreaking when I go through Baltimore Hilton now, and many parts of the city when you go through there.
What are we going to do about it?
I mean, it is a reality that's happened over years, and we cannot just blame politicians for that. I remember a period, I guess, in my 20s when I really started to see, when I started to get around the city a little bit, having a car and riding around. There was a change in the generations when the homeowners, I guess my grandparents' generation, when they started passing the houses down to the next generation. And if you go back to that grandparents' generation, the generation that scrubbed the steps with the brush and the pride factor, when the next generation took over and they became the elders, that pride factor went down a bit. The condition that they kept the neighborhood.
Something else happened.
Well, what else? Well, I guess we got to get into what caused it.
It was a good thing that went south. We wanted to move out Randallstown.
Yeah.
In Groves, we've been moving out Liberty Road for 50 years. In the process, we abandoned Grandma's house. We sold Grandpa's store. We sold Grandpa's store to the Koreans. They say the black community poor. Then how come Koreans, Arabs, Africans, everybody set up shopping on Pennsylvania Avenue? Everybody on Pennsylvania Avenue. Ain't no black stores. Well, it's a couple. But we are not poor. We make poor decisions.
I like that. Then that's true. That's facts. That's facts.
I don't know how we're going to change, but it's a mentality. And so we moved out Liberty Road. That was one thing. And then also we got caught up in being drunk off power. You a delegate now. So where it was important for me to say, hey, Diamond K, how you doing today? Now you the delegate. I'm Delegate Diamond K. Man, damn, dog. You just a delegate. Ain't like you the governor. So cats stop answering their phone. Marion Barry answered his phone until the end. These cats just want a delegate spot. Oh, no, send me a text. I can't get back to you right now. Really, dude?
And that's why Marion Barry was loved so much by the people of D.C.
You damn right. They loved him no matter what he did because D.C. understood he had a target on that back. A lot of people don't know Marion Barry got shot at City Hall trying to defend the city. He loved those people, and the people in D.C. loved him.
Absolutely.
What do we have here in Baltimore? How do you think things are going to go here in Baltimore?
As far as a leader that's beloved like Marion Barry,
Do
I
we
don't
have
know.
one? Is it Marilyn Mosby?
I like Marilyn Mosby. Is she the leader like Mary? I mean, it's way too early in her career for me to say that. But when you talk about having a target on her back, she has a target on her back. The reason, and when you talk about, and it's very frustrating to me the way the Mosbys are treated. She's not someone that just came in there and is just doing the same old, same old. She's trying to do things differently. And because she's not with the stat quo, when we talk about the deterioration of this city and the fat cats getting their money, she's somebody that's going against the grain. Absolutely, absolutely. And she's a woman, so she has both of those things that make the establishment uncomfortable. But if she went along with the get along, the fact that she's black and a woman, they wouldn't be targeting her. But she's trying to do something different. And what we need is more progressive, honorable politicians and other folks and the citizens that have her back, which I don't know if they do.
So as a citizen, Diamond K, I submit to you that we don't really know our role. A relationship works when people understand their role and play their role. A team works, a baseball team. We were just talking about baseball. Everybody has a role to play. And not just the 9 people on the field, but the people on the bench, the bat boy, the coach, the assistant coach that goes and get the cold sodas. But we've kind of lost that because as we have moved out Liberty Road, as we abandoned grandma's house, as we sold grandpa's store, something else happened, Diamond. We stopped having family dinners.
Definitely. Mm-hmm.
We stopped paying attention. We stopped caring. We stopped going to PTA meetings. Out there in Randallstown and Owens Mills, black parents going to the PTA meetings like we would expect. Because if you're living in a $200,000 house, then certainly you're going across the street to Deer Park Middle School to the PTA meeting to find out what's going on. If you moved out Lions Mill Road, certainly you're going over there to Randallstown High School and you want to find a Milford Mill. You want to know what's going on in the school. You want to know who the county council person is.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you think? But we have forsaken those very things that got us to where we are.
That's true.
A lot of people in the county don't know that for the first time ever, you could get a black county executive.
And I think that it's twofold. I think that the times that we live in, it is awakening many folks. It hasn't awakened everybody. But some people are getting activated that were not activated 5 years ago.
What do you mean?
Mentally, you're talking about people getting engaged in politics, people paying attention, and it starts at that very basic level of your house, your community, and paying attention to that. And I think that you talk about different income levels of folks being engaged in the kids' lives, being engaged in the immediate community, and I think that the times that we're living in, many folks are getting engaged. We just need some leaders to really harness some of our people and really go after some things.
Diamond, nobody's going to do it. And that's why I'm here to tell you, whenever you're ready to do something again politically, whether it's run somebody else, let us team up and see what we can do. Because at best, I'm a player coach at this point. But I'm back on the bench. It's time to groom the next generation and to groom them such that they do not fail. We come from legends. In this town, we've done everything. But what we don't own is the media. You must continue to own your media outlet, because the only thing that beats us in this town is the Baltimore Sun. They beat our butts every day, because whatever they write, black people, white people, all people believe it as if it's the God gospel truth. And you know they don't.
Fox 45 as well.
Yeah, they the new racists on the block.
Disgusting.
Sinclair Broadcasting.
Yes, disgusting.
How could they put Vic Raja on when Vic Raja got caught on Greenmount tricking? They keep on TV like he wasn't over there tricking. I'm trying to understand. You caught him tricking. What can he tell? What can Ed Norris tell me about policing? You went to prison, dude.
He can tell you how to get locked up. He can tell you how to get locked up. He can tell you what it's like. Yeah, I didn't understand that. Vic Raja was on 45's airwaves so much. I thought he worked there.
And you want to speak for black people? Vic Raja is not black. I don't care how many black people his daddy taught. Vic Raja is not black and does not represent the black community. That's like me living in Sandtown, and then they go and get a white guy to represent Sandtown. Stop playing, dude. Go back home. Stop playing. This is a 99% black community. We have never needed anyone to speak on our behalf.
Right. Definitely.
And for you to even think that is insulting.
Yeah, I mean, so when you talk about that next generation of politicians, what are your thoughts on Mayor Scott?
Still early. What's his April?
Yeah.
He got a birthday coming up this week. His birthday's Thursday. A young Aries.
Yeah.
Hey, man, considering Catherine Pugh, Sheila Dixon, Stephanie Rawlins Blake, the three black mayors that we have had since the period of Martin O'Malley, the era of zero tolerance, where 1 in 6 Baltimoreans got locked up. The same one that went on to become governor and push table gambling down our throats after the lottery has yet to provide equal education in Baltimore, let alone Prince George's. I got to give him a chance. He came in with some people that I don't swing with, but you got to have some white folks on your side in order to become mayor. The question is, how far will he go? Who will he serve? The Bible says, and I'm not a holy roller, that you can't serve two masters. Right. You will love one and forsake the other. My hope is that he loves the people. Now, let me say this. There are things he did as city council president that you are not going to get him to do as mayor. Because when you're city council president, you're going for it. You're going for it. You're going for it. But after you become mayor, you have one job. You know what that is?
What?
To stay mayor.
Yeah.
That's his number one job. And people get it twisted. So right now it looks like he's staying there.
Yeah, I agree with you. I am
but I got
giving him a chance. Giving him a chance. Yeah. And I definitely for the sake of the city hope that he is successful. And I think that he's off to a good start. He has a lot working against him. Just the nature of Baltimore and the way it works. But I think that he has.
What's he got working against him? I don't understand.
I mean, just the city, just the city. You know, when we talk about the last couple of mayors, you know, it's just the odds are against him to be successful
because of the skin color.
Because of skin color, yes.
Yeah. When Kurt Smoke introduced the war on drugs, he was looked at like he was crazy when he was really, with respect to that topic, he was way ahead of his time.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, white people sell weed and make money, because it's legalized. But black people have been going to jail. You got cats over the prison locked up for $20, $30 worth of weed for years.
Right.
So we really get trapped by this, by the slave patrol.
Yeah.
The slave Bible. Not much has changed. I tell you one thing I think we got to do, Diamond. I think we got to start making connections with Africa. We have to look beyond the borders of the United States because this country is never going to play fair. So it's time we establish some relationships in Zambia, Botswana, Nigeria, Tanzania, Brazil. There are 100 million black people in Brazil. We got 40 million in this country.
Mm-hmm.
It's time we start connecting globally using these platforms and these, and we need our own platform. We need our own platform, Diamond K.
Yeah.
We need our own social media. So we don't have some little sensitive person from suburbia trying to tell us how we're supposed to feel because they have no idea.
I've often talked about this, and Marty kind of touched on it, but he didn't touch on it. I don't think in the way that, in a positive way about it. When you talk about segregation and you talk about the civil rights era generation, the 60s, when we had so many of our own businesses because we had to, because there were whites only and there were places that we weren't allowed. So we had to have our own doctor, our own dentist, our own everything. The era that came in that wanted the inclusion, do you think that hurt us in the long run?
Well, that's a loaded question because inclusion is this new anti-racist term by the white liberals.
Yeah. I mean, busing, just the integration.
Diamond, we were better off doing it ourselves.
I agree.
We had better teachers. Those teachers knew who was special ed, and they knew who were going to excel. They knew who could play instruments, who could play music, and they knew who was going to be physically astute. They knew that. Our black teachers loved us. They loved our parents at Douglas, at Dunbar, at Poly, the first Baltimore City school to integrate. But some kind of way, we got comfortable. Kwesi Mfume has a reputation for running, campaigning through the election. So after he's won, at least that was his historic reputation, you still saw him campaigning. Now that we've been integrated, we've moved to Randallstown, some to move to Essex, or we to move to York, Pennsylvania, we moved outside of Atlanta. We got comfortable. We stopped fighting. You're black. The fight is never over. Not in America, because you black. You were born with a bullseye on your back. And so are your children and your grandchildren and your grandchildren's grandchildren. What's going to change that? More black babies.
Yeah.
And
a mindset shift.
Yeah.
And that's what I say. And a mindset shift.
We got comfortable. See, we think our children think they are free. Our children think because they got on a $200 belt that they've arrived, that they are accepted. The reality is this. If you're black and male in America, you're quite likely to get locked up and die before you're 20.
That's true.
Now, so we have to Sandtown. We can't afford to get fuzzy with the math. And sometimes we get comfortable. I got the Gucci belt on. You're younger than me, but if you drive 4 black men deep in a car, what's going to happen?
We get pulled over.
More than likely.
Yes.
Not to even do it. If you want to avoid drama, tell them dudes to meet you there.
Yeah.
That's America.
It's happened to me. I 4 deep in the car. It's happened to me. Definitely.
I said, hey, come get me. Now, I was taught to survive the frisk because you want to make it home. At the end of the day, you want to make it home. Put your hands on the steering wheel. Put your keys on top of the car. Matter of fact, you almost got to drive like you're an immigrant worker.
Yeah.
Some people just don't drive fast in America. They not drive like they got a suspended license. I don't know, Diamond. What do you think?
I mean, you know, the biggest, I mean, when you talk about the interactions with the police, it definitely brings to mind the Chauvin trial, the murder trial, and that the country is in week 2 of. Our interactions with the police have been detrimental to us since the creation of the American police system. So surviving it is key and critical, and it's very maddening the way that we are treated. When you look at different white folks that do mass murders, they get taken into custody with no incident. And we just talked about the hypothetical 4 guys in the car. Quite likely somebody would get killed just because. And so there's so when we talk about the target, we've been talking about targets and targets on the back. We have targets on our backs in so many areas of our life, and it doesn't matter whether you're a politician, whether you're a college student, a high school student, or anybody. If you're black, that target exists.
Diamond, that's why we need you. We need you in media for the next 20, 30, 40 years. Politics without the media, we have nothing. The media is the voice of the people. Yeah. It is through mediums like this that we can educate, we can enlighten. We got to get our young people, you know, on one hand, we got to be involved in voting, but we also got to be involved in home ownership.
I agree.
If we're paying $1,500 a month for rent, common sense says you could own a house.
No, I mean, there's no, you got no complaints from me on that. Now, some people feel like they can't afford it. But when you do the math, you can.
$1,000 a month. If you're paying $1,000 a month, you can have a house, right?
Right.
At minimum.
Definitely.
And credit. We don't get into teaching our children about credit early enough. I didn't learn about credit till going away to college. At that point, they got the vampires there waiting for you.
Yeah, but you don't learn about it till you already started messing it up.
Yeah.
Then you
yeah.
And then you start to learn about it. But that's because a lot of times the generation before us weren't taught about it. The generation before us weren't taught about the credit, so then they don't teach that. And the other thing,
or maybe they were still experiencing it and hadn't reached a point of sharing those lessons.
Right. That's true.
Or maybe we weren't listening.
That's true.
Because the old people said, if you can't pay for it with cash, leave it there.
That's true. And that's that generation before them. Absolutely. But that can change. That can change. And we need to. It's not hard to start building the credit. It's not hard. And even if folks have made mistakes, it's not too late to start correcting those mistakes. Definitely, because a lot of times we think that the game is over. I done messed up. Even folks who went to jail, it's not over. You can come home, and you can do it again. This country is all about second chances, right? Everybody want to give somebody a second chance. Now, some of us may be on our third or fourth chances, but You just, riding a bike, you fell down a couple of times, you didn't stop, got back up, try again, try again, get the training wheels off, and then you going. Now you want a 10 speed.
My mother said, my daddy said, don't let nobody ride that bike.
Yeah, mine said that too. Yeah, definitely.
There were rules back then. They said, don't bring nobody in my house when I'm not here.
Facts. Facts.
Somebody was going to get hurt if they came home and you broke that law. I had 2 cousins. They were girl cousins. Me and my dad went to visit them. Their parents were out of town. And my cousin said, my daddy said, don't let nobody in this house. It was like they was hostages.
Yeah, we can't open the door. Yeah. That kind of stuff is gone, but we need that kind of stuff back. And you talking about an era where if your parents were gone, the neighbors were watching to let your parents know what was happening. And you knew that you were being surveilled. You knew the lady in the corner was going to say everything that happened. You knew that. And that respect for adults that are not your parents was there.
But now you got this new generation. Don't say nothing to my child.
Right. That's a problem.
Somebody who wasn't raised right. Only somebody that wasn't raised right. People get angry and hostile and start yelling and wanting to fight when they're intellectually not capable of grasping the concept.
Yes.
If you saying to me, Donnie, get your kid. Apparently, Donnie ain't doing something right, and Diamond think the kid is in jeopardy of losing his life or well-being. But now we got a point you can't say something to somebody about the kid because. Well, thank you, Party Marty. You can't say something to somebody's kid because now it's a fight.
Right. That has to change, and then that has led to, what was it? Friday, the juveniles that carjacked the 41-year-old man and killed him. We have kids that are just wild because the control is not there. The fear wasn't instilled in them early on, and they are just running amok.
Diamond, I got it simpler. I got it so simple. Watch this. You got a daddy?
Absolutely.
And he don't take no stuff.
No.
He gave you rules coming up so that you could represent him and represent him well.
Right.
Same here. The black daddy is what's missing. The black daddy is dead, strung out, or locked up, or divorced, baby mama drama, child support, pushed out the situation. These hoppers running the streets of Baltimore like they crazy don't have no daddy.
Right.
Because their daddy would have knocked their damn head off a long time ago.
Oh, absolutely.
Just like that mother did during Freddie Gray at Mondama. You will not disrespect this household.
Right.
Because I'm sure your daddy told you, if you don't like it here. Okay, I got that same number.
And that was not only my father, my mother as well. But absolutely. But you're right. But at the same time, parents now are handcuffed to a degree because some of the kids think that they can pick up the phone and call somebody, and my parent is disciplining me, that kind of thing.
I'm from the Bernie Mac generation. Remember Bernie Mac?
Oh yeah.
Bust the move.
Yeah, right.
Bust the move.
Right. Do something about it. Yeah.
And your mother told you, if you don't like the rules in this house, go.
Right.
But leave my clothes at the door.
Right. Right. Yeah.
As kids, we don't even know. We don't own nothing. Everything we got, our parents gave us.
Right. Well, they want to be friends. They want to be friends with the kids now.
I'm not your friend.
My parents said that all the time. Now they're my friend. Well, coming up, yeah, this is not a friend thing.
You had to earn their respect. That's what's gone. Lil Melvin. He said it so simple. I said, Mr. Melvin, what do we got to teach our young people? Respect. Respect. That's the one word. Respect.
That's true.
That's what's missing. Respect. There was a time when the black politician, the black business, the black preacher, the black head of the NAACP or Urban League, they all worked together. Like the Goon Squad. You ever heard of the Goon Squad? Them cats were no joke.
Yeah.
They knew everybody. Yeah. But through integration and moving to the county, we got soft. We stopped doing our knuckle push-ups in karate class. We stopped doing the knuckle push-ups. We got soft.
Yeah.
And then the kids soft. Now the kids think they know. You got kids telling the parents what the deal is.
Yeah. And the thing is that it's tricky because going back to the grandparents' generation, somewhere along the line, we talk about when you do something wrong, when you got a discipline, right? My generation, they decided I'm not going to beat my kids because I didn't like when I got a beating, so I'm not going to beat my kids. Okay. So then the discipline fact is out the window. So now they just do whatever. And it's that part, like we talking about, being in public. My parents, you weren't going to embarrass my parents when we out in public. You're not going to embarrass. So if you cutting up in the store or something like that, and my mother got to take you in the dressing room and then fix you up real quick, and then you come, that kind of stuff is gone. Now it's everybody, they got ADHD. They wilding out because they got ADHD, or no, it's some discipline. It's just discipline, and you can't wait till they're 16 to introduce discipline. That has to have been introduced day one
in the womb.
Yeah,
I threaten them before they come out the womb.
Get the threat early.
Like Brother Bay say, give them a checkup from the neck up. I see grown people asking a 3-year-old Diamond what you want to eat.
Yeah.
Your mother did not ask you what you want to eat. Your mother laid that plate on the table, and you can eat it or not eat it.
And you better not take too long to eat it, because the kitchen going to close at a certain point, and the dish is going to be done, the food going to be put away, and you can try it again tomorrow.
Did you ever make the mistake of not taking the trash out or hitting the dishes?
No. And it maybe not taking the trash out when I was supposed to, and I might have been asleep. And what happened is you got woke up. Yeah, you got woke up.
2 o'clock in the morning, ain't nothing outside but you and rats.
Yes.
I had to kick the fence to let the rats know I'm coming down there. Hooty hoo! What hey?
Yeah. And this is back in the time when we had 2 trash days during the week. We had two trash days. My neighborhood, we had Wednesday and we had Saturday. I know because I was up 7 o'clock putting the cans out. If I didn't do it the night before, and I usually didn't do it the night before, they going up the alley and I got to run down, grab all the trash, put it, that kind of thing. We definitely need 2 trash days again in Baltimore City.
And we need responsible people. Diamond, I can't believe, I try to catch myself as I get older and shut up. I'm going out the door, right around the corner. A guy's in a parked car. I see somebody open the rear passenger door, take a box out and set it in the street. And I said something that I tried not to do. I'm like, come on, man. Normally, I don't try to say nothing. But I'm like, come on, man. To the young man's credit, he picked that box up, put it back in the car. Now, he tossed it a block down the street. But at least for then and there, nobody dirties up our neighborhood. Well, mostly. There are people that come and dump in the black community, but I'm just talking about bottles.
Yeah.
A grown man throwing an Amsterdam bottle. Put your trash in the trash can. You think a girl pretty, Diamond. You think a girl pretty until you see her get out her car and take a McDonald's wrapper and just throw it in the street. She ain't pretty no more, Diamond. She ugly. I don't want her nowhere near me.
Yeah. Yeah. That is so disheartening when that happens. Or sometimes they don't even open the car door. They just roll the window down and just throw it out the window.
What dirty piece of trash is that? And she's an embarrassment. He's an embarrassment to their ancestors. Remember, do you remember the Indian commercial when we were kids? Where the Indian had the tear coming down his eye?
Yes.
Because the trash is all in the streams and the harbor. Mother Earth, man.
Yeah. We only get one planet.
And we effectively destroying it, man.
Yeah.
So much that these cats now looking at Mars. They want to live on Mars. Like Avatar all over again. You know, Avatar is one big colonialism movie.
Yes.
And you know the two people really black people, right?
Yes. And they don't do a good job of masking it either.
No.
It's real obvious.
You ever studied Australia?
Not really.
They did to the black people over there the same thing they did to the black people in Africa and here. But the black people, the Aborigines, the original people of Australia, they underwent as brutal a system of slavery as did we here.
Wow.
A lot of people don't know, like, for instance, King Leopold, the Belgium over in the Congo, they were cutting black people's hands off by the thousands. 1 or 2 hands off. And the famous saying is, they cut my hands off in the Congo. It's been a lot of vicious, and black people ain't been all that innocent either, because somebody sold us into slavery. Somebody kept it going. Somebody thought it was okay.
One of us, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Divide and conquer.
Now, let me give you this. White people sell white people into slavery too.
Sure.
Iraqis too. I was watching a thing yesterday on sex trafficking in Iraq. You know, we look at these countries as Muslim countries. Oh, they real into their religion. Bruh, women got hell over there. Little boys got hell too. Little boys got hell in a lot of these
tough religion. That's a tough religion.
That ain't no religion. You can't be honoring God defiling children and women. That ain't no religion. They call it religion. That's some justifiable rape. No such thing.
Rape and murder.
Diamond, how can people catch up with you? Tell us all about your network, when you're on, what's your schedule?
I am on 8 a.m. on radioonfire.com, anywhere folks get podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, etc., YouTube. Just search Diamond K in the Morning. And as far as social media, everything is at the Diamond K Show. So I'm out here. I'm real easy to get up with. And you were speaking earlier about working with a campaign or something like that. I'm definitely interested in that as far as behind the scenes working with somebody.
Keep making politics interesting to our people.
Yes. Yeah.
We need to know who our city council person is. We need to know 396-3100, just like we know the number of dominoes.
Yep.
396-3100 is the number of the city hall and your city council person, your mayor, anybody in city government. If you're in Maryland on the state level, 841-3000, that's Annapolis. If you're in Maryland, you know the Maryland General Assembly goes on for what, another week or so. And it lasts 90 days, January to April.
Right.
And that's for over 2,500 pieces of legislation to cover. And then we also need to know about what's happening in Congress. We need to call Kwesi Mfume, Congressman Mfume. We need to call his office and find out what's going on.
Right. Right.
We got to stay involved. It's more than just voting.
We have to hold these men and women accountable. We have to hold them accountable. And it is you have to do the check-in with them. The things that and everything that they promised during the campaign, they necessarily can't do. But we have to consistently check in with these folks. So it's a relationship. And a lot of times people will say, "Oh, I only see you during election time," and they can say, "I only see you during election time." We have to, it's a relationship.
You need that account number. It's
yeah.
just like dating a woman.
Yes.
If that woman only hear from you once a year, I can assure you of one thing: you ain't getting close to her.
And if she only hear from you every 4 years, you can forget about it. You can forget about it.
You might get a child support letter in the mail.
Definitely.
Okay, Don McKay. Any final thoughts, big brother?
I really appreciate being on your program, and we definitely have to set something up so you can come on my show. And but I definitely want us to speak often.
It's done.
Often. Yeah.
It's done. Tell me about the music awards.
So the Baltimore Music Awards is something I started 10 years ago. And
wow.
Thank you. And so each year in November, we have the folks vote on different categories. It's 15 categories, and so they vote on the categories. And I really like to do it starting as a musician myself.
What you play?
I play trumpet and drums, but so that's my start. But as far as the music,
important.
Yeah, as far as
the rhythm, the trumpeter, that's like the announcement.
Oh yeah, definitely. And that was so important in my life, the structure from the band. So everything has really pretty much been built on that. But as far
who's
there's
the baddest drummer in the world? Who's the baddest drummer in the world? The baddest drummer in the world, brother.
The baddest
from Baltimore.
Who are you talking about?
Dennis Chambers.
Oh, yeah.
I got you.
Oh man,
I got you.
Caught me slipping. You caught me slipping. You caught me slipping on that one. You caught me slipping. But it is so important for media like yourself, like myself, and to continue to push out the important and truthful information, because a lot of these so-called mainstream outlets are singling out our politicians. And not only the politicians, but when you talk about an outlet like Fox 45, all they want to do is just highlight negative things, whether it's the schools, whether it's politicians, and there are negative things there. But I never hear them talk about the positive things at all, like they don't even exist.
Well, Isabel Cummins, the lady that's going after Marilyn Mosby, why don't she investigate the water bills? Why don't she investigate some of these millions of dollars in contracts that are not going to black businesses? Because Isabel Cummins is not interested in black people. She's not interested in law. She's interested in herself.
Yeah. This is absolutely.
And they're going
investigate these mysterious BGE explosions.
Yeah, 5 of them. They're going after. I will tell you this: It looks like they're going after Nick because he's next in line to become mayor. That's what common sense says. It don't take a rocket science to figure that out.
Yeah.
They started going after the Mosbys no sooner than he won that election.
Right.
Remember, Sheila Dixon, they bloodied her up as city council president. So by the time she became mayor, she had this big cloud of suspicion over her head, and they'd already raided her house. And that's what I thought was so cruddy. They raided her house over $500 in gift cards, something they would never do to Martin O'Malley, Kevin Kamenetz, or any of the other white males that have held important positions. They would never do this. And that's the racism that we face, Diamond K. And so if you black and in the race, in politics, you got to be cleaner than Caesar's wife.
Yes.
You can't have any mistakes. It's like the basketball championship. You can't miss free throws. Not when you're playing the best.
Right.
You can't miss layups.
We have to understand that. We have to. And you said Caesar's wife. Caesar's wife had to be above suspicion. We have to be above it.
And you're not white.
Right. So don't act like it.
You can't have
don't act like it.
You got to have a perfect SAT score. That's why smart people really don't become elected officials. Because smart people see it's too many traps. It's too many traps. Yeah. Everywhere you look, it's a full court press. If it ain't your finances, it's your legislation. If it ain't your legislation, it's your personal life. And you know how to get people a lot of times, sex and money.
Right.
They send a pretty little girl your way, or they send somebody with a brown paper bag your way. It's a cruddy game. It's the cruddiest game on earth.
Very.
Well, we're gonna get up out of here, Diamond K. Any final thoughts, big brother?
I love these type of conversations, and they are just critical for the elevation of our people.
Well, whatever I can do to help, we will continue. I gotta ask you, you follow Atlanta and Georgia, right?
Yeah.
What's going on in Georgia, man?
I mean, Georgia has an idiot for a governor. A real idiot. And Maryland's governor is not somebody that I care for. But the governor in Georgia is
okay, I'm sorry, I cut you off.
No, it's all right. No, but the governor in Georgia, what he's trying to do is set up his reelection. He's going to be running against Stacey Abrams whenever she decides to make the announcement, and he's going to lose. But he's trying to set up a victory for himself and a future Republican as a president. It's not going to work. The pressure that is being put on the major companies in Atlanta specifically, they're going to buckle under the pressure. I think that they're going to turn back this law, this racist law.
What companies? Coca-Cola, I see them out there.
Delta. Yeah. And then, so MLB, and I think other other sports owners. Yeah. So there's gonna be a lot of pressure, and they're gonna buckle under the pressure. It's losing the All-Star game is significant, and they lucky because they could have lost NBA action. So it's just, this is going to affect. We already semi out of a pandemic and losing some major economic stimulators for businesses. They're not gonna be able to deal with that too much longer. And then the time's gonna come, they're gonna say, Governor Kemp, you're responsible for us losing these this financial opportunity. And it's gonna 2022 is when he's reelected. He's trying to, he's gonna run. So he's gonna be in trouble. Stacey Abrams is gonna be the next governor, which is a good thing.
So we talked earlier about us getting relaxed, getting comfortable.
Yeah.
Georgia has gone from one fight to the next fight. And if the Democrats win Georgia, if Stacey Abrams does win the governorship, it is only because of continued pressure. See,
That is
the
such a good point.
Republicans, they fight better than the Democrats. The Republicans go for the jugular right here. They try to
Every time. Yeah.
Fighting so hard because white people are being outnumbered.
Yes.
Numbers are changing in America. So that's why you feel this desperate attempt to hold on to some racist ideology that's not working.
Oh, yeah.
So we got to keep fighting. And the Republicans know how to fight better than the Democrats. The Democrats, soft.
Yeah.
So
I agree with that. I agree. There's a lot that can be learned.
If you're from Baltimore and Hilton, what happened if somebody get taken down in a fight? What happened after they get taken down?
It depends on who fights.
They get stomped.
Oh, oh, absolutely. Once he hit the ground, yes, definitely.
Democrats got to do some stomping in Georgia.
And Democrats, the Democrats that are right now anyway, not the Democrats of yesterday, because the parties flipped and folks, they flipped to the other side. But these Democrats now are definitely soft, and they have to toughen up. They have to toughen up. The Obama Democrats, too polite.
Yeah, and they're not black enough.
But to in the defense of Obama and folks like that, they couldn't go all the way there like a Jesse Jackson. They had to, in order to get elected, they had to kind of be safe. But now
he got to get out of that now. He was supposed to have a black moment.
He never did.
No,
he never did. He would probably say, if we were to talk to him now, he would probably point to some of the performers that he had at the White House being his black moment.
Have a black moment right now.
Are you right? He can do that now.
I haven't heard another word about my brother's keeper in Baltimore since he was elected. You remember that initiative?
Yes, I do. You're right.
I've not heard a word. I saw some black people in Baltimore get paid to talk about it, but I haven't seen one damn iota of my brother's keeper. Nowhere. I saw white people get paid with their nonprofits.
That's true. That happened too, unfortunately.
Nobody's going to do for you what you can and should do for yourself, even though they do it for white people all the time, like the Homestead Act. Homestead Act of 1862 gave white folks 160 acres for free. When a black man go to get them acres, oh, no, you can't do it.
Yeah.
These people.
Trying to move folks out west.
Yeah, if we keep falling for the okie doke, it's our own fault. And we got to teach our children not to take no wooden nickels.
Right. Well, you're right. We got to keep fighting, and we need more people engaged in politics. And like you said, I love how you said to keep it interesting, because it is interesting. People just have to. People may think on the surface, oh, that's boring. That's not. It's so critical to everything that happens in the city that you live in. All politics starts local, and your local officials. That's really your bread and butter.
People say I'm not political. I'm not into politics. Everything you do is political. Everything you do is political. Mm-hmm. When you go to get in your car, you better have a driver's license and some insurance, because there are laws that say you will get locked up if you don't.
Facts. It's politics at your job. Well, whatever job you can work at McDonald's. It's politics at McDonald's. They don't just have everybody in the drive-through. It's politics to get there.
You done crack slick on a dude on the French fries, not knowing his mother is the manager.
Right. It's politics everywhere. They call the office politics. It's there.
Politics helps us to understand the score. Don McKay, it's been a pleasure this morning. Thank you for getting me going. Been a real pleasure this morning, man. My name's Donnie Glover, and we're going to take a pause for cause. I got up a whole hour early. I got to check my clocks and see what happened. Must have been a power outage. But usually it puts you behind, not ahead. It's been a real pleasure, big brother.
Thank you.
We'll be back at 7 p.m. tonight for more programming right here on BlackUSA.News. Don McKay, any final thoughts? We out of here.
Definitely. I appreciate it. And everyone support Donnie Glover and everything he's doing. When is the book coming out?
In the next 2 weeks. I'm waiting on the cover today, and we'll be out. See, the goal, because it's about Black Wall Street, the goal was to be out before May 31st. That's when we mark 100 years since Tulsa's Black Wall Street was bombed from the air and burned to the ground. You know, it's a song out about it, right?
What song?
Gap Band.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You dropped the bomb on me.
Classic. Yes.
Well, May 31st will be 100 years since they dropped the bomb on Tulsa's Greenwood section. And this book looks at the history behind the history. How did those Black people get to Oklahoma? How did they get to Kansas? We talk about the Exoduster movement. And I'll tell you something else. A lot of times we hear our young people say, I'm not my grandfather's generation. They got to get this book because I'm going to show them who their grandfather's generation were.
Oh, that's so powerful. Yes. So I really want you to come on my show to talk about this book. When the book drops, this is very important information.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, Don McKay, and big up to you and yours.
You as well. Thank you.
All right. Donnie Glover tuning out.